Hello, and welcome to our little corner of the world. This story is about Sophia, a country girl who welcomes her cousin Lucas to her simple farm in rural Alabama, where the cotton fields stretch out into the distance, and the rhythm of life is dictated by the seasons. He came to her for guidance, and she ended up becoming his personal guide. A thoughtful mentor, the kind that leaves a lasting impression on your life. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, and share with those who enjoy stories full of emotion and discovery. Hi, I'm Sophia. I'm 23 years old. I have wheat-colored hair and what people here call a free spirit. I'm not one to be bound by conventions, Here in rural Alabama, where the fields stretch as far as the eye can see, and the wind carries the smell of wet earth. I live with my mother on a humble farm. Life seems peaceful, but mine has never been so still. I help with the animals, tend to the vegetable garden, and sell jams and preserves at the county fair. I know everyone around here, and I love an adventure. I think that's what defines me. A mix of courage and curiosity. My routine turned upside down when my cousin Lucas arrived. He's 20 years old, my mother's sister's son, and he came to spend some time with us for the first time. Lucas is the reserved type, with a naive way that melts anyone's heart. He's intelligent, has a simple sense of humor, but he's clearly still finding his feet in life. When he got off the dusty bus on the dirt road, I noticed something different about him, a purity that caught my attention. He was enchanted by everything here, the horses in the paddock, the wood-burning stove, even the way we drink coffee filtered through a cloth filter. But deep down, I felt that he hadn't come just to see the farm. There was something more, something he didn't say, but that I could see in the way he looked at me when he thought I wasn't looking. I knew those days together would be different. Little did I imagine how much we would change. The first few days were filled with lots of conversation and easy laughter. He was enchanted by every little thing, from the smell of freshly cut hay to the warm buttermilk biscuits we ate for breakfast. We would talk late into the night on the porch, and little by little, he began to open up. One night, sitting on the porch, just us and the fireflies, Lucas said something that left me speechless. Sophia, I've never been with anyone. I've never even really kissed. I stood there for a moment, but then I smiled. Not jokingly, but because I saw that he was confiding something very intimate in me. I asked him why he had never told anyone about it, and he just shrugged, saying he was embarrassed. At that moment, I felt something different. Lucas wasn't just my cousin. He was a boy trying to understand the world. And suddenly, I saw that he needed me. My heart beat faster. I knew I was about to cross a line, but I couldn't help it. The way he looked at me was so sweet, full of admiration and a little bit of fear. After that, everything changed. We started spending more time together, and our closeness grew. Simple things, like milking the cows or picking tomatoes in the garden, took on a whole new meaning. I noticed him looking at me when I thought I wasn't, and I started to look at him differently too. One afternoon, while we were harvesting corn, he picked a beautiful ear of corn and handed it to me with a silly smile. "This one is just like you, beautiful inside and out." I laughed, but it touched me. It was such a simple gesture, but it seemed to carry such a huge feeling. That night, after my mother went to bed, we stayed in the kitchen, just us and the flickering of the lamp. The conversation started out silly, but it got serious. I told him about my past loves, and how for me, the most important thing has always been respect and trust. He listened to every word as if it were an important lesson. Out of nowhere, with a courage I didn't expect, He took my hand and asked, "Do you think I'll ever be able to have that with someone?" I looked into his eyes and felt my heart race. Lucas, when we stop being afraid and allow ourselves to feel, things happen naturally. He was quiet, but his eyes shone. He seemed ready to experience something new. In the following days, we grew closer and closer. I taught him small gestures, how a touch can say a lot, how a look can ignite something inside us. He learned quickly, and I was learning from him too, until the night that changed everything. My mother had gone to spend a few days in the neighboring city, and we were alone on the farm. We were on the porch, drinking hot coffee, when it started to rain. The smell of wet earth filled the air. He confessed, "What hurts me is feeling like I'll never be like other guys, that I'll always be late." I approached him, put my hand on his and said, "Everyone has their own time, Lucas. The important thing is to live truthfully." When our eyes met, it was as if a spark passed between us. We kissed right there, with the sound of the rain making music. It was new for him, and for me too, because I had never felt anything so intense. His kisses were clumsy, but full of desire. I took him to my room, where the only light came from a lamp. I explained slowly, patiently, that intimacy is not just about the body, but about two hearts beating together. When it finally happened, it was natural. He was shaking, but I guided him gently, halfway there. I felt that he was very excited. And when he undressed, my goodness, I didn't expect that. "Put your hands on your head and relax," I said, as I explored that mound of man with my hands and neck. But when I felt that, he was almost there. I stopped. "Lie down," I asked, and then I climbed on top of him, going very slowly. I saw his eyes widen when I entered him completely. "Hold on a little bit," I whispered, starting to move. It didn't last long. He moaned, and I felt a warm jet inside me. I hugged him tightly. "Now you're a man, Lucas." His eyes were filled with emotion. It meant so much more than sex. And for me, being his first was special. In his last days here, we lived every moment as if it were our last. He was different, more confident, more present. When it was time for him to leave, we said goodbye in the yard. With the setting sun painting everything golden, he hugged me and whispered, "Thank you for showing me how good it is to feel." I could only smile, holding back tears. Now, when I watch the sunset here in the fields of Alabama, I wonder, how many stories like ours have happened out there? Have you ever felt something so strong for someone close to you that it made you question everything? Sometimes, it is in the simplest places that we find the most beautiful lessons about love and life. Leave a comment telling us what you thought. And if you have experienced something similar, share it with us. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss any new content. Here, we always bring life stories, reflections, and real experiences, all with great sincerity. Thank you for watching until the end and for being part of this journey. See you in the next video.